Is this a disappointment? I'm sorry. Oh, wait, he says. Good morning, guys. This is not an owl. I'm supposed to be doing owls, but something else has come up. So I think you recognize the picture. So it's this one, Jed. It's the first of the boss fight sprints. This is the key block we've done. The first test printing yesterday. The first test printing came off yesterday. Suga-san did it for me. It's not finished yet, but coming along. The print is actually going to be able to come alive. And we have to recarve some of the key block. There's a bit of explanation. I'm not sure if I should explain now or if I should wait a bit longer till more people come on board. This is right at the beginning of the stream. So I tell you what, let me carve a bit now first. And then give me 5 or 10 minutes till maybe there's more people on board. And then I'll explain what I'm doing then, so that we don't have to explain the same thing too many times. So let me just carve a bit. And actually, maybe some of the Twitchers know what this is, so they will know how to explain this. Or make your own guesses about what's going on, or question in the bucket already. Just give me a minute. Okay, questions, Patreon, and also what we're doing here. Making wood shavings, yeah, if only. So, this is, I think Mr. Koringami has got it here, what's going on. So, No deepening, no. It's what we call muda bori, wasted carving. If you go back, here's Jed's Photoshop original. And there's areas in here, whatever, the typical ukiyo print, there's areas that have outlines. There's a black line, and there's colors inside. Most of our work is done that way. That's how ukiyo type prints work. So for that, that's no problem. We take Jed's original, clear out the colors, just leave the lines, cut them on a block, and that's what we have. There's the outline for that sword. We cut this. There's the outlines for the, stuff. That's the normal way of doing things. But on some prints, in many old prints, and on some of Jed's newer prints, he's doing some other things. He's doing places where there's colors, but there was no black outlines. This red, blood on top of the skin and something. So once we've carved the black outlines for the print, this would just be non-existent. When we come then to do the color separations, normally when we do the color separations, we've got the print out from the black block. We know we put blue in here, we put brown in here, we put yellow in here. It's all outlined. It's fill in the numbers from that point on. But on a print like this, you can't do that. Look at this. All these things here. There's yellow, there's orange, there's black, there's probably brown or blue underneath that. There's all these colors, and there's no way for us when we're making the color blocks to define where they are. So here's where we go. Let's look at this place here. There's these splashes of whatever, molten metal or molten magma coming out of the dying monster here. We carved those onto the key block. And here they are. They're just circular splashes. Can you see what we've got here? That's this zone. There's this long one, 2 dots. There's this long one and 2 dots. We carved them onto the key block, which would make them black in the finished print. So we come to make the color blocks. We print this, and there's a black area outlined in the color block transfer sheets, and that's the information. That helped us carve a color block for yellow, and then a color block for orange. That's done now. We did a test printing yesterday, the very first test printing. And this doesn't look like the real print, because what you're seeing is the key block black is there, and then the yellow is there, and then the orange is there. And we've gone over all these spaces now. We've confirmed that, yeah, we think we're pretty good. We got the color zones transferred. The colors are probably in the right place as far as we can tell. And the next step for me now is to come back to the black block and carve away all those places that were there only for the purposes of color transfer. It's called muda bori, wasted carving. And now I'm partway through. I started a few minutes ago. I should have waited till the stream started, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do this morning, so I had to get going on it. Suga-san is here at 9:30 today. We'll see her come in another hour and a half or so. And the first thing she's going to ask me is the block ready? Is the block ready? Because she's going to start printing it this morning. And also, I am supposed to be up there with her most of today with my camera. So she's going to do another run of the test printing on this, and I'm going to shoot every section of it, and hopefully we'll get a YouTube video out of it. Not tonight, maybe tomorrow or the day after. So that's what's happening. I've explained it once to you early birds here now. People that come on this chat over the next hour or so, they're going to ask what's going on. Please pass on the information. I'm supposed to be doing owls. Owls are upstairs. They're just going to have to wait. This is a priority. Now this thing we're doing here, this muda bori, this is not something we have thought about. Of course, this is the way it was done back in the old days. There's lots of our prints where we can avoid using muda bori because we've got Photoshop. And in fact, we've done that in a couple of places. For example, the blood here. And we didn't bother to do muda bori for this because what we could do was, because the red is only on top of the pink, there's a big difference here. Let me explain this. This one we did here, we have a black and a gray and a yellow, and then an orange. And we didn't want the yellow going underneath that one. And we didn't want the black, of course, going under this one. So these two had to butt together. So it was absolutely critical where the lines were. So we did it with muda bori, the way you've seen it here. This one is different. This pink runs under the red. So there's no butting up. There's no critical point where it runs. We've carved the pink through the whole zone, and the red can actually go anywhere, and within reason of Jed's design. It doesn't have to be microscopically exact, because it's one color overlaying another color. Where we're really in trouble is where they butt up, and when there's no black line, that's really difficult for us. So that's why some places we did muda bori here, and some places we didn't bother to do it. It wasn't necessary. We just took Jed's information from Photoshop, made a red block, and went ahead and carved it. Anyway, now I've talked a bit too much. I've got to get to work a little bit here. So also I saw again, I got a message from Francis Hanga in the middle of the night, not so many hours ago. He's streaming, so I eagerly went there this morning to see what was a saved stream. Couldn't find anything, so still testing, I guess. Oh, whatever. We'll just keep waiting. Here we go. This is not actually an easy job. I can't just hack these out because there's lines that come right up against them. Get my own camera. Bit dark here because of the black block, eh? This might be a tough one to shoot today because of the darkness. Can I zoom in a bit more maybe? Let's see how it goes here. This is not trivial work, you know. They're right up against the lines in many places. They intersect lines in many places. It's really careful work, you know. So it would be so easy here to chip one of these lines. Seems funny. Look at this. Choop, choop, choop. Anybody who doesn't know what's going on must be totally confused. You know, what's going on? Change of design or something. So how many times are we going to explain this today? So I should have made a web page or something in advance explaining what muda bori is, wasted carving. Patterns that were carved on the key block for the purposes of transferring the information to the color blocks. Once the color blocks are finished, the information is no longer needed on the key block. And real printing starts today, so now those pattern areas have to come off the key block. There we are, 1 minute explanation of it. It's good news on this print though, you know, we're in production now, and in fact, I was supposed to be making an update for the Kickstarter campaign. We are way on schedule with this stuff. We put 6 new woodblock prints into the Kickstarter campaign. One of them, the one based on the Colossus, it's coming back from the printer tomorrow afternoon, finished, the first batch, all ready to go out. So we'll be shipping those to Jed later in the week. That's 1 out of 6 is done, ready for shipping. This is the next one to get to this stage. The carving on this one is finished. Well, finished in a few minutes, and the carving's done. Test printing, as I said. First batch of test printing is done. Production on this one now starts this week, next week. That's 2 out of 6. The one called The Serpent Strikes, based on Metal Gear Solid. The carving is, Kawasaki-san tells me, she's on the last pattern block now. So carving of that one is 95% finished. And then the one called The Dragon's Gift, where a dragon is bringing a bunch of ball-shaped things. We know what that's based on. That's totally finished. The blocks are all carved, haven't done any test printing yet. So out of the 6 prints we promised in the Kickstarter campaign, 4 of them are within minutes of being finished carving. The other 2 haven't started yet, not scheduled to be out till next spring, but they haven't started carving yet. And everything else is up and printing. Then the other major part of the Kickstarter campaign was that book, the book of 10 of the old ukiyo-e prints, the old ukiyo-e prints. We've got to that stage in life. 10 of the older ukiyo-e prints bound together in a book. And 9 of them are now finished. I've got them on the shelf right beside me here. The special wide version ready for bookbinding. 9 of them are finished, and our printer Kanai-san, one of the printers who's off pregnant, she's been working at home on the 10th one. And she said, it'll be finished tomorrow, so that'll come here. So I have to then get serious about getting the rest of the book components ready, the cover sheet and the stories that go inside it and things like that. So that's also coming along very well. But my mistake is I haven't been letting Kickstarter people know about this. I've just been thinking, we're okay. And because it's been a couple of months, some of the Kickstarter people are getting, oops, are they okay? So I have to make a post about that, like, soon. But things are going well. There's a ton of work, and I'm amazed that we've been able to keep up with it so well. And the reason we have is because we have, at the moment, we're okay for carvers. There's 4 of us here now carving. Myself, Kawasaki-san, who's been with us now for 4 years. John-san, the young boy from Hong Kong, we posted about him a while ago on our blog. He carved this one. And Yumi-san, who's a young girl working for one of the older print companies here in town, which is basically collapsing, but so she now needs work, so she's working for us. And then myself. So carvers are okay. And as you know, printers is a different story. We're really short for printers. We've been short anyway for years, and then with Ayumi-san off making a baby, that's made it even worse. So. But yeah, things are coming along very well. We're wrapping up this year with a real bang. The owl print and the orders from the website have just exploded. One downside is that the Great Wave, we're out of stock on it. We've been out of stock on it now for weeks, and so many people wanted it for Christmas. And just the way it worked out, orders were so strong through November that we ran out in early December. And I can't just snap my fingers and have more show up. So it won't be back in stock until early January. So all the people who had planned to do that for a Christmas present for somebody are now left hanging. So. Now where am I going next here? This is going to take a while, isn't it? I remember now there was a question beep a while ago. I'd better take a look at it. I forgot. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Oh, Jed is here. Good morning, Jed-san. Hey, do you see what's happening here? This set is finished. Jed, are you here? Test printing happened yesterday. It's not a complete test version, but it's coming. We're doing basically as a block check. So these are not the full vivid colors. They're just sort of paint splashed on them to check where the zones are. It's looking good. We're doing the muda bori, removing the black that's on these areas here. So don't panic. These aren't yellow yet because they still have black on top. It's coming along. Back up to the questions. Twitch questions. No, nothing in there. I thought I heard a... Okay, I misunderstood. I thought there was a question beep. Sorry. Hearing things. Back to work. Explaining, okay? Susan spent the entire day yesterday on this rough test proofing. Chon-san stayed here. He stayed here and sat with her. And the places that she found it needed to be carved a bit deep or something, he carved with her. So the two of them upstairs yesterday all day together. It was so cool for me to watch that, you know. A young printer and a young carver just sitting side by side. Work supplied by me and Jed. It was just so cool to sit there and watch them. I sort of still can't believe this is happening, you know. The place was buzzing yesterday. Aoyama-san was doing some more sizing. The girls in the shop were busy doing print parties. 2 girls in the shop, a bunch of print parties, people from Germany and Israel and all over the place. And upstairs, Aoyama-san was sizing. Ishikawa-san was working on the first print from next year's series. John-san and Natsuki-san were working on this test proofing. You know, Cameron-san was busily beeping away on the computer, getting the new Japanese website set up. Over in Ome, there's 3 people working there. There's 1 lady printing and 2 women packing. All the Christmas presents and Christmas gifts going out. That's going to slow down now because we're past the post office deadlines. Where's the next one? Not sure where that line is. know, some of these, removing this stuff's going to leave just little tiny dots here and there inside the print, you know. Keeping those from chipping. Well, that was a question bead, right? There's a dot there. That dot's not going to make it. It's between two of these things, but whatever. I don't think anybody's going to notice, but that's not going to survive, I don't think. Let's see what's in the box. Question. Hey, answerable or not? How many staff do we have and what do they do? I don't know, how many do we have? Last time I counted it was about 20 or so, 19, 18. Depends how you count them actually. You say how many staff do we have? And it's a mix because some people are our employees. We have full-time employees. We have part-time employees that come here. And we have people that we hire who work in their own homes to do work. And they don't work just for me. They work sometimes for other people. So I can't really call them my staff, you know. But if we go through it in the building up here, upstairs in the printing room, there's 3 printers who work here coming X days a week. There's Aimi-san is still here a bit before she gets too big making her baby. Printer. Then Natsuki-san is up there printing almost every day. Ishikawa-san comes here to do printing 3 or 4 days a week. So there's 3 ladies upstairs printing for us. In the shop we have, good grief, how many? Teiko-san, Thursday staff, Matsumura-san, Thursday, Kawaii-san, Saturday and Sunday, Nakamura-san, Sunday, Shiba-san and Audrey-san, Wednesday, Doi-san, Monday morning. Are you counting? I'm not counting, so I don't know. That's the shop staff. Then upstairs there's Aoyama-san, used to be called Lee-san. He does block making and print paper sizing for us, working on a website also. Then Cameron-san, the new manager type person, working on the website. Then over in Ome, there's Tsushima-san, the printer. Then there's 2 ladies packing, Yasui-san and Ishikawa-san. I think that's it for in-house people. Have I forgotten anybody? Quite possible. That's it for those of us who come here to this building and work. Then working for us pretty much full-time as printers are Kubota-san and Yamamoto-san. They work in their own workroom. Numabi-san, Numabi Shinkichi does some printing for us, although not so much recently. He's the main printer for the Yoshida family, doing all the Toshi Yoshida printing, and sometimes for us when he's got time. I've probably forgotten somebody, I don't know. Excuse me. So I don't know, what is that, 17, 18, 19, 20, I don't know how you count it, depending on, you count the inside people and outside people. Oh, and then carvers, yeah, of course, carvers. Kawasaki-san down in Kobe, in her own home, but she's working basically just for us, nothing else. She doesn't do any other jobs. Chon-san now is a carver. He's doing just for us. There's no way he has time to do anybody else as well as working for us. Yumi-san is not our employee. She's an outside carver. She did this one job for us and it came out okay, so we're going to be hiring her to do more jobs. I can't color an employee. And people like the paper makers and stuff, of course we can't. They're not our employees. They're outside people working on their own things, and we buy their product. That's supposed to stay in, but there's no way that little chip is going to stay in, period. Where is it? Here, it's that little tiny dot right there between those two. I'd like it to stay. Let's see if we can get it. Did I hear the question beep again? Just give me a minute here. I've got to be careful about keeping concentration here. Just a minute. Question, muda bori question. So, because I don't know where they end, that's why. I know the person is asking, where are we here? These lines, the key block lines, I'm tapering them off into the area where we don't need them. That's because I'm really still not quite sure exactly where they're going to finish. We're going to do one more level of test printing today, and then we'll be able to see those color zones. We did a test printing yesterday, and because the blobs were still there, we couldn't really see where the color is. This one, for example, the orange and the gray seem to overlap a little bit. So I'm not exactly sure where that border is going to come. So at the moment, I'm cutting off these lines, and I'm leaving them all a little bit too long, a fraction of a shiver of a hair too long. Next test printing is going to come along, and we'll be able to see now how much to cut off on these lines. If I cut them too short, or if I think what's just right, there's a chance there's going to be a gap there. Are people watching that closely? Ah! I think the camera's in too close. I think I should zoom out. So yeah, this is simply the next level of testing. There's going to be another level, and then whatever, we'll see where it goes, Now this one's next to impossible. Look at this. The key line comes along, it's thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, and the color bumps up to it. Where is this? It's this one here. Key line comes along and just thins out to nothing. I have no idea what to do with this. No idea. Let's try just attempt number one. I don't know. Now, stuff like that, Jed draws it. Easier listening, I guess. Jed draws it, but of course he doesn't think about, how this is going to work in practice, and nor should he really. It's not his business to think about, the muda bori will be difficult there. It's not his business. It's our business to make them, and then to complain to him later. Crunch, crunch, crunch. What do we hear? This is out, right? Dangerous. When we were planning this print months ago, when we first saw it from Jed, this would be, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months ago, I saw these patterns, that magma coming out of the dying monster, I thought, the day I do that muda bori is going to be a tough one, and here we are. The future has arrived. Was there a question? I don't remember now where I am. No, there wasn't. Where am I? Jed's off, is he? Oh, that's my grandson on Skype. I guess he doesn't know I'm twitching. I'm not sure if this will work or not. Skype quit unexpectedly, as it always does, which is good timing today. As he come back up. This is insanely difficult, getting this stuff out without chipping any of the lines around it. We knew this was going to be tough. And the block too, it's a real, chippable type, it's not a smooth grain. No matter which way you cut it, it wants to pull up. So don't complain, Dave, this is your job, just do it here. Okay. Coming along. What's left? Are we done? No, another patch here. Okay, we've come down the group here. There's one group left. All by itself, couple all by itself, they're easy. I'll save those for the last. This is a tough one. Look at this. It intersects so many lines. Including little ones here. Okay, anyway, let's get it out. I'm not seeing too much of the stream here. Do we need to recap what's going on, or is it pretty much in control? A lot of explaining going on. Tiny bit of recap, I guess. These areas that I'm carving away are areas that do not get needed on the key block for the real printing. They were printed on the key block just for help in preparing color transfers to show where zones were. Now that the color transfers are finished, we don't need these areas defined anymore, so we can take them away. Japanese term is muda bori, wasted carving, which is exactly a good description. What I should have done is done some proper video of this, I guess, and made it the topic of one of our videos. I don't know. Is this visible? It's just so black, isn't it? Can you see what's going on or not? Triangles, triangles. My job is all about triangles, isn't it? Somebody said that a while ago in one of the other threads, watching Dave, popping triangles. All right, let's see if we can get that piece out safely. Almost there, guys. Almost there. Oh, how are we for time here? What am I going to do next, actually? What is it? Oh, it's going to work out okay today, I guess. So. Was there a question or nothing? No, it's okay. Let's save it. It's hard to tell what should be left and what should be kept here. Weak battery. Battery needs charging, eh? I guess that's Cameron. What day is it today? Today's Thursday, so it'll be Cameron first, then it'll be Teiko-san and Matsumura-kun, I think, today. And there's no party at 10 o'clock, so I have a slow start. Good morning, sir.
Hi. They didn't give me an excuse slip this time.
Are you late?
Yeah, I was delayed 8 minutes.
The same train? Is that train really having trouble? Or
It must be. This is really unusual.
It's really unusual. So is this some technical trouble, or is it suicides, or what's the...
I think this time they said there was a problem with the doors on the train in front of us, something like that.
This is really unusual.
Yeah, it is. So, it's weird. This is the same train that a few weeks ago put out a big public apology because their train left 20 seconds early.
Yeah. So,
it's the same company.
yeah.
Kind of funny.
Now, yesterday you sat in here for a while,
Yeah.
and I read through the chat later after lunchtime,
Mm-hmm.
and people are all, wow, it's great when there's a two-man stream, it's much better, and
Yeah.
it helps and all that stuff. So,
You want me to sit down?
whatever, you're welcome to hang around until you
Okay.
want, I guess. Huh?
I thought you were doing owls today. What happened?
I'm supposed to do owls today, but there's just too many jobs stacking up. I mean, the owl paper's up there waiting for me.
Oh, no.
But the Sugi-san, yeah, you don't know what's going on. The muda bori, the Sugi-san did her test printing yesterday.
Right. Yeah, I saw her doing that at the end of the day.
Yeah, I have to explain to you as well. I know these areas, maybe there's people on stream who didn't hear this, so we'll do the explanation again. This is Jed's Photoshop master.
Right.
There's areas with clear lines defining things, and there's areas where there's no key lines that define stuff.
Right.
And to transfer the information for the color blocks, when there's lines, it's easy.
Very.
But when there's no lines, how do you transfer it to the color blocks?
Yeah.
So what we do is we carve a black blob here on the key.
Huh.
In other words, carve these shapes onto the key onto the key block.
Right.
Then do the color transfer sheets.
Okay.
Carve the color blocks. Once the color blocks are clear, then pop these things off.
And then do it only in the color instead of the key block.
So these areas, they're almost gone. If there's any left here. This area. This is one of those magma blobs.
Yeah.
One of those magma blobs,
Right.
So they're coming off now, but it's not a trivial job because all the key lines are here, and
wow.
It's called muda bori, wasted carving.
Got it.
I think I explained it once at the beginning of the thread, and different people have been coming in and re-explaining it time and time again. So,
Sure, I'll sit in for the last little bit.
Careful of this; it's
important.
So go ahead if you like.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Yes.
Mic is up here, so it should be okay.
Okay. I can't read Elvish. What is this? Oh, it's Welsh. Okay. See. I actually really enjoy watching the chat and archived streams too. Y'all are rambunctious. Some guy jumped in. I like watching the chat, even in the archived streams. So everyone's rambunctious. It's funny. Okay. Hi. Sometimes okay, I'm sorry. I'm jumping back, trying to catch up, everyone. As an English person, trains can be on time. As a Welsh person, what is a train? I guess you don't.
Be careful
here.
here.
No, that's what I'm just reading. That's what I'm saying. There's no trains in Wales. Okay, jumping down.
Just so you know, the owls are now officially in minus territory.
Oh no. Keep ordering more owls, more owls. But they're beautiful prints. And you've said keep getting more and more beautiful the more practice you get. Is that what I heard?
So, no. What?
No, I thought...
What?
No, I thought... What was it? Oh, there's a question for you, I think. Let's see. Never been, actually. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Dave looks so different without the beard. I guess now I'm Dave without the beard. No. Alright, what is the next best wood to use after cherry wood?
Again, we've had this conversation. It all depends on what kind of print you're going to make. I can't say. There's no answer I can make for you. For us, who have a specific goal about a specific type of print we want to make, cherry's the best. For other people making different kinds of prints, the whole world is available. So just try something, your first print with anything that's at hand, and then go from there.
Here's a question for you from Andy B. I think. Hi, Dave. When you are carving, are you constantly having to think about which direction the wood grain is going?
Yes.
And adapting how you carve and your technique?
Absolutely. There's no moment when it doesn't. When the knife is going in, this doesn't really much matter about wood grain here, just like this. Cut this way. It's when you bring up these tools, these chisels that clear, that the wood splits out in the wrong direction. So the cutting knife, it's no big deal.
Okay.
This cut I'm making right now, it's not too specific with the wood grain. But right now, picking up this tool now, which way is this going to go is absolutely critical. So.
Thanks. Good question. Are trains in Japan as expensive to use as they say? It depends. Let's see.
You're talking about two things. There's commuter trains and
Yeah.
there's long distance intercity trains. You know,
Yeah.
quite a different structure. You know.
The commuter trains are not too bad. Like going around within Tokyo, you can get around the city pretty cheaply within the main part of the city. I mean, Tokyo To includes Ome, and that's a long ride, and that's pretty expensive too. But going between cities, so taking a ride from Tokyo to Kyoto, for example, will cost a lot.
The airline companies and train companies have it worked out. They're battling, you know.
Yeah.
And the farther you go, the more it becomes sensible to use the plane rather than the train.
Mm-hmm.
But that intermediate distance, going from here to Osaka or Nagoya, that's the real battleground between the train companies. Yeah. And the other real different thing to mention, especially if, say, British people or European people who are asking about the trains here, there's no return tickets here. A to B, and B to A are the same price. And if you go ABA, it's just simply A to B times 2.
Yeah.
Which is a staggering expense that the Europeans and something are surprised about. You know.
Really? They've got a better deal than that?
Sure, when you go to Britain, it's whatever, ask somebody to give you more current information, but buying A to B and then buying ABA, it's whatever, like 1.5 or something like this.
Wow.
Whatever. I don't know the current numbers. Somebody can pull us up.
Is that right? Round trip tickets are a lot less expensive, like planes are?
Yeah, planes are, of course.
Planes
of
course.
And in most countries, trains work similar way. Yes.
Interesting. Because here, it's just the cost each way.
Yeah. Let's see what the people can tell us here. What information?
Anyone jump in on that? But also, if you use the bullet trains, the cost jumps up 2, 3, 4 times as much compared to taking the long train. But it's also 2, 3, 4 times faster, depending on how far you're going.
Reserved seats cost more too.
Yep, and adding a reserved seat adds a little bit more. It's usually not too bad.
There's no reserved seats on commuter trains, of course.
Yeah. There's no seats on commuter trains half the time. I mean, they're actually there, but
you can't see them.
Yeah, most people can't see them. Let's see.
Anybody coming to Japan for traveling, if you're going to be here like for the week's trip or a 10-day trip, if you're staying just in Tokyo, you don't need to buy a train pass, like the Japan Rail Pass.
Yeah.
But if you're planning on going anywhere past Nagoya, if you're going to go to Kyoto or whatever, then the train pass is worth it. Amazing
deal. It's, I think right now about $250 US. It's a little under 30,000 yen. For a 1-week train pass of unlimited rides on any JR trains. Yeah. So I can't use it for where I'm going because I'm on another private rail company. But
if you're going down to the Kansai area within your trip of 7 or 10 days, whatever, buy the pass.
Yeah, buy the pass. It'll save you lots of money because it's about, I think, 16,000 yen or so from Tokyo to Kyoto. So if you went round trip, then you're already have saved money by getting the pass. Yeah. So it's really, really good deal. But it's only usable by people with a foreign passport who are not residents of Japan.
You can't buy it here. You have to buy it before you come.
Yep. Is Halloween a big deal in Japan? It wasn't until 3 or 4 years ago I've heard some parts. Is it Shibuya? Shinjuku?
It's exploding.
Yeah, it's exploding just the last few years. People will dress up in lots of costumes, and it becomes basically a big party night out on the streets.
Well, it's cosplay has it's crossover with cosplay,
right?
Of course,
So. It's become a cosplay event. So there's no trick or treating or.
Has that happened in the West?
Pumpkins.
Halloween and getting mixed with cosplay?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. Has that? Anyone help us out? I'll keep scrolling down.
They were totally two different concepts, but here and they're now merging into one thing.
Right. It's just Halloween is a cosplay evening. What is the least desirable wood to use?
Again, for me, anything except cherry.
Anything except cherry.
I don't know what to say. My requirements are it's got to be hard to take fine lines.
Right.
And hard so that it takes 1,000 prints. If someone's just making casual prints, they don't need that. They might not need fine lines, and they might not be worried about it lasting for 1,000 prints.
Yeah.
So there's just so many different requirements. I can't give a single blanket answer.
So, as you said before, just use what you have first to try it out, and then go from there. See what you can get your hands on.
Don't worry too much about it.
Yes. Okay, it sounds like more round trips now in Europe are cheaper, but not by a significant amount anymore. It says it's more a minor discount to incentivize using the same travel company again, or the trains again.
So you don't buy a ticket ABA, you buy your ticket separately, or like an airplane now? It's difficult to buy a one-way ticket on an airplane.
Yeah, it is. How much does that work? Or how much does that work out to? I don't know. How much does it cost me to take the train each day?
It doesn't cost you anything, does it? Tell them that part about this.
Mokuhankan. Dave has...
No, not just me. I mean, Japan generally. The rule is...
Yeah. the Japanese companies, they might work you lots of extra hours, most companies, but they'll cover your transportation no matter where you're coming from. They will pay for your commuting costs. So
commuting costs in Japan are borne by the employer.
Yep.
Period. That's the custom. It's not the law,
Yep.
but it's the custom.
Mm-hmm. But the round trip, if I just bought the tickets straight without a discounted commuter pass or anything, I think it's about 1,500 yen. So
In and out.
yeah, round trip.
But I'm getting it cheaper because we're buying a month, 6
Yeah.
months or 3 months or whatever.
Yep. As you buy longer commuter passes, you get quite a substantial discount. I think it's not enormous, but it helps.
Yeah. So most of JR's revenue comes from corporations.
Yeah.
Actually, in real life.
Because they're paying for all the individuals' commuter passes.
Those millions of trips a day are paid for by Japanese companies.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. How much money would you recommend to bring on a trip to Japan for a week? That is totally up to you. I previously worked at a travel company, and some people like to come on a budget, stay in cheap hostels for $10 a night, or no, maybe not 10 here in Japan, 20, 30.
30 or whatever.
Yeah, but you can get pretty inexpensive hostels, and then they'll eat food from convenience stores, so they're paying virtually nothing for lodging and food, but then they go see lots of cool stuff, go on long train rides to lots of historical sites, or
It's insanely difficult to
shopping.
budget because of that.
Right.
You know.
But some people like to spend hundreds of dollars a night and stay in luxury hotels, so it's really, really up to you.
Okay, but for walking around town, how much do you need in your pocket? You've left your hotel in the morning. Forget that. You've chosen the Hyatt or a backpacker's hostel,
Yeah.
whatever. You come out in the morning at 8 o'clock. You're going to get breakfast. You're going to have lunch. You're going to be on the train here and there. What are you going to need? For lunch, 1,000 yen,
yeah.
whatever. You can pay much more, but you can get lunch, great lunch for 1,000 yen.
Oh, yeah.
Breakfast, you're not going to find anywhere because Japan doesn't do breakfast.
Yeah, they don't do
per se.
breakfast restaurants, so at least when I've traveled around, I've gone to convenience stores, grabbed some fruit, or grocery store, grabbed some fruit, bread, something like that. So that's a few hundred yen.
So if you're in Tokyo, lunch is going to cost you 1,000 yen or 1,500 yen, depending on how much you want to go. To get on the train from here to go to Shibuya, then go to Shinjuku, and then come back, whatever.
Yeah.
Each trip's going to be like 280 or 340 yen.
Right.
1 trip, 2 trips, 3 trips, 4 trips. That's 1,500 yen or so for the trains within Tokyo.
Yeah. And then dinner, which can again be really inexpensive, or you can spend a lot. For a bowl of ramen, you can get that 800 yen.
My budget for dinner is it's 1,000 yen, or if I decide to have a beer, it turns out to be 1,600. That's what I spend each night, and I get good variation. I go to Japanese places, Western places here and there.
Go all over the place.
So my personal budget, I mean, I don't go by train, but my personal food budget is 2,500 yen per day.
So 2,500 per day on food, and then however much you plan to ride trains around in the city.
And then admission fees or whatever stuff you're seeing.
Museums.
But if that's all we mentioned, I mean, if you only had 3,000 yen in your pocket, that's not going to be enough, actually, because really, come on, you're going to be buying stuff in here.
Right. You like to buy souvenirs or buy snacks, ice cream. There's always good ice cream around. So maybe 5,000-6,000 yen a day. If you're
for basic expenses.
Expenses, for traveling around the city, food, all 3 meals.
Yeah, it sounds a bit low, though, actually.
Yeah. I've always been a budget traveler, so I don't know.
And you stop at this Mokuhankan place, and you drop a few tens of thousands.
Right, yep. Don't forget to make a trip out here. In Japan, yes, Mark Roberry, thank you. In Japan, everything is cash, no cards.
That's not true anymore. That's not true.
It says now stores have started accepting a few things, but
always have cash in your pocket because you can never be sure that the place you're going will take a card. So always have enough cash in your pocket.
Right.
But most places really now do take cards. If you're
in the city.
I was going to ask who was going to qualify that. So also barring a lot of small bars. The smaller the bar you're in, the less chance that it will take a card.
Right.
If it's a chain of any kind, you're safe. There's no problem.
Yeah.
And out of the city, all bets are off.
Yeah, out of the city, you bring a bunch of cash. Let's see. Let me copy. Okay. Least desirable is cardboard for printing.
What if I don't want credit cards?
No, sorry, jumping back. Sorry. Down here. Yeah. Japanese friends sent me pictures of all their kids dressed up and traipsing around. Looks like they were trick-or-treating. I wonder if that was actually what they're doing or something slightly different. A bunch of them supervised by adults. I have never seen kids trick-or-treating.
No, I think over in the embassy district a bit, where there's a bunch of foreigners living, the foreigners groups sort of arrange this.
Okay.
They know the houses, they know the places where there's foreigners living, and they've arranged it for their kids to do this. That's over by the embassy district.
Or maybe even on bases, too.
Yeah, maybe. So other than that, you just don't get a costume on and start knocking on doorbells in your district. No.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. So. Yeah. Unless it's prearranged.
Yeah. Let's see. Question for you. Dave, do you like the custom that an employer pays travel for employees?
I know it's not a question of like or dislike. I know it's all prearranged. I knew when I hired Cameron that part of my calculations, how much can I afford to pay this person, you know from the beginning that this has to be factored in. So it's no different than calculating a salary. Mm-hmm. You know, so it doesn't matter. It's the water we swim in. It's the base. So it's not negotiable. Okay. It's not good news or bad news. That's what it costs. Yeah. The little bit funny factor in that if I'm going to hire you and you live a long way away, then we have a problem because it's negotiable. Yeah. How much we will pay up to this amount, and there are government. What's the word? Not suggestions. I know what's the word I'm looking for. I know what's reasonable and what's the base amount beyond which you're not really expected to pay. So.
Got it. So standards.
Yeah, whatever. So typical standards. Yeah. So it wasn't a oh Jesus, do I have to pay this? You know, when I first learned about it, I have to do what? You know, but whatever. Now that I live here, it's not a strange thing.
And it's not just me. Everyone travels from all around Tokyo. All the other staff in the shop. Let's see.
I think I'm on the last magma blob, and that's probably Teiko-san coming in. I think we're there, aren't we?
Yep, 9:23. So a few more minutes. Oh,
Suga-san, look at this timing. Look at this timing. Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. Say that with more heartfelt passion. Yeah. Huh? It's okay, go. She says she's got more work for me.
Yep.
That's, by the way, just so you know, that's Sugi-san who came through, who will be doing the test printing today on this.
On this new print.
We're gonna try a new video today. Yesterday was the first test printing just to see the blocks work, to see if they all fit. Yeah. And now today's going to be the real test printing, trying to make it match Jed's. And I've got to sit up there all day long with the video camera, so I don't know what a chance to get any work done at all today. But
is Ome in the shop today?
There's Teiko-san and Matsumura-san are in the shop, and there's no print party reservations at all. We're moving into our winter quiet period. Yeah. Teiko-san, good morning. How you doing? Kaze toka. Hi.
Oh, free trick-or-treating in Tamashi, Tokyo. It's sponsored by the city. Huh.
So what, and have they told everybody what to do? Explain how it works to all the residents? Because nobody would know.
No, I have no idea. How does that work? Is it small and round? Help us out. I've never heard of that. That sounds great.
It doesn't sound great at all.
Free candy? What?
Sponsored by the Dental Association. Whatever. That's a fact. I mentioned about dentists. You know, we have the health insurance here is pretty much national health care for everybody. You know. And one thing that sometimes freaks people, Americans out when they hear about this, is not just that there's health insurance for everybody, which we pay hefty premiums for, but it covers and includes dental care, which other people go, what? Yeah. And it covers dental care. So it's here, it's rolled into the general medical system, which in many other countries, for some strange reason, seems to be separated. Yeah. And I don't know why. When we go to the dentist here, we take our health insurance card and whatever. We've got our copay. My copay is 30% at my age. Yours must be about the same, right?
Yeah, it's 30% as well. Except with babies, depending on your prefecture, children under 3, I think.
Pregnancy isn't covered by the healthcare system.
But it's weird.
It is.
It's not covered by the national system, but then all the prefectures have their own systems for it. And so where my wife gave birth, they covered pretty much the entire cost, like very, very close to the whole
It's really
thing.
interesting. It's not considered an illness or a medical condition. It's considered something you just did to yourself, like having orthodontic surgery or something.
Yep. And that's... So it covers most of that. And then children, after they're born, in Niigata Prefecture, they gave every doctor's appointment was completely free because they want to encourage people to have children because of the lowering population.
Yeah. So for pediatric care, there's no copay. Pay you're talking about.
It's zero, it's just covered. They give us these tickets, called Muryoken, just free ticket. Anytime you go to the doctor with the baby, they take that and then it gets taken out of tax. So it's free for us, but I'm sure it's getting covered by tax.
Well,
probably
revenue,
our own tax. So, and then in our new area though, it's covered, or most of it, all except 600 yen. So $5-6 you have to pay anytime that my baby gets sick. So it's a good system, I think, or at least helpful for families, kids. Okay.
I think I've done here. Oh, just about right timing. Look at this. We'll do one more test printing and find out. I've pulled away all the magma. So the magma colors, the yellow and orange, which were here. All these magma yellow and orange, which were on the key block, have now been removed. So the key block should now print nothing but black lines.
Okay.
One more test today. This was yesterday's test. The colors are not deep and rich enough yet, so she kept things light so she can see overlaps fairly easily.
Right.
So her second test today, she's going to richen everything up. A few more things have to be carved. I think this black, she said, still needs to be carved away. There's an area where the orange and grey are overlapping.
Oh, yeah.
And that has to be cut away. Other than that, first proof, it's up and running. Jed's gone. He was here earlier.
Oh, he was in here earlier.
Okay. So there we are. I think I'd better sign off and get the rest of this up there going on.
Get out of here.
What's the schedule? Today's Thursday. Tomorrow,
Thursday, yeah.
There's no way I can do owls, and I'm going to be on the video all day long. So I guess for me, tomorrow morning we'll be doing the colors on another bunch of owls.
All right. Okay. Let's get out of here. I better learn how to do this.
Where are we? Excuse me.
We should make another copy. I've been doing a few, but...
Okay, good. No problem. I should just get around to it. So. We're talking about medical stuff. Anyway, we can't go because we've got work to do. So thanks for watching. Tomorrow morning, if plans go according to plan, it'll be owl printing tomorrow. Beyond that, I can't see. It'll be something. Thanks very much, and away we go. Step one, I've been turning just for... Doesn't really matter, but I'm turning the camera off first.
Okay.
Just to make fun about having the live mic.
Right.
Whatever. So, and then we just stop. It's just this one. So, oh, look at this.
Wow.
We had a bunch of drop frames today, so it could have been... No idea.
No idea. I wasn't running another computer.
No. Anyway,
so it looks like a lot, but it ends up just being 0.6%.
Yeah, so nobody complained. So anyway, here we go. Stop treatment, just simply.